Hello, welcome to The Solution, chapter number 5. Today I want to talk about our system of government and how our government works. And first of all, let's talk about lobbyists. All right, a lobbyist is a person who talks to our representative or any elected representative and pushes for the agenda of the people he represents, be it the tobacco industry, Wall Street, teachers' unions. Heck, there's even a union for public employees that lobby for higher taxes so that they can get raises. I know, ridiculous. But the fact of the matter is that a lobbyist is allowed access to our representatives. They get to meet with them, have dinner with them, sit in their offices, and listen to the lobbyist's point of view as he represents a special interest. All right? The problem is that this man is already paid for and elected to listen to us, individuals. You can't have a system of government that says one man, one vote, and then allow one person who represents a large industry and a large group to also have these people's ear. All right? So lobbyists need to be done away with. If you want to have a public forum, let's say the tobacco industry, I'm going to use them for an example, okay? They send a lobbyist to listen to a congressman in a question and answer open forum, okay, to get an idea of whether this guy might vote for legislation in their favor or against them, and to decide if they want to put into their into their campaign financing, okay? That would be better than closed door meetings, okay? These people should not have unfettered access to our representatives. We're the people who pay them. We're the people who elected them and chose them to represent us as individuals. It's not one man, one vote anymore if you allow lobbying. Number 2. I know it's a Republican stand, what I'm about to say, but the fact of the matter is that the federal government cannot pass a law without watering it down and putting a lot of riders and special stuff into these bills. All right, rider, we call it pork now, I believe we call it. They cannot pass bills effectively because what affects Massachusetts affects Hawaii differently. And what the government was meant to be was an overseer of the states, and the states were supposed to pass laws that benefit their particular constituencies. All right? Their people. All right? Hawaii would be able to pass more problem-specific solutions in their state if they had more power to do so. If Arizona needs to pass a law making a stricter immigration law, because we don't have immigration reform right now, we don't have anything that gets these people out of the country, and Arizona is more affected by immigration, okay, then a law that applies to Minnesota doesn't apply to them in the same way. So the states need the power to govern themselves, okay? The federal government needs to stay out of the states' businesses unless the things are unconstitutional. And the federal government, yeah, they need to put together a military, because we can't have 50 militaries, okay? And the Supreme Court is there to rule on laws throughout the land, but mostly federal laws. Each state has their own state Supreme Court. Medicaid, Medicare, even then they send the money to the states and let them delegate it out. But the government holds back money from the states if the states don't do what they want them to do, okay? They blackmail states. by withholding funding, where if the states can keep more of the money that comes in and they decide how to spend it within their state. Look, you don't like what's going on in your state, there's 49 more states to move to. So if you don't like what your state is doing, that's the beauty of this country. You got someplace else to go within the country and still have the Constitution to protect you. Right now, because the federal government passes so many laws that they really don't need to, what happens, all these deals get made where you vote for my bill, I'll vote for your bill, because your bill doesn't really affect me, and my bill doesn't affect you, but I need the votes. And what happens is that problems get solved slowly, okay, ineffectively, because they keep getting watered down. And again, they put all kinds of riders and stuff in the bill. So the way our government runs right now is horrible. If I haven't talked already, I'm going to talk about budgeting later, because that's another problem. But the fact of the matter is that we would spend less money if we got rid of all these departments that aren't necessary. We had one time when it was deemed by the Medical Association that salt was bad for us, and all of a sudden you saw low salt everything and products everywhere, and the government made a department that put together television commercials warning you against salt. And that's great. But see, that's changed. All right? And I understand that that department is still around, but now salt is bad for just certain people. You should go get tested to see if it applies to you. Otherwise, use salt because it's got iodine in it. It's good for you. So, and if this government department, as I have heard, still exists, it's a waste. There's a lot of waste in our government in budgeting, and in the fact that we have departments for stupid stuff, you know. We need to pare down the federal government. And I know it's a Republican point of view. It doesn't make me a Republican. It just makes me agree with that one point. And there's lots of points in the Democratic side that I agree with as well. So, obviously, government doesn't work. We know that. We know it doesn't work because of the two-party system. Because, I mean, a lot of the problems I'm talking about are interrelated and interconnected. And just to departmentalize each problem wouldn't be a good approach. Let's put it that way. So I might be mentioning other things that we've already talked about or we're going to talk about, but they're all interrelated. And I wanted to touch on how and why our government doesn't work, and some of the stupid things we do in this particular issue. I talk more about it in my book, Under New Management. It's an ebook at Amazon.com, and I'm no expert on anything, but I've been paying attention for a long time and educating myself and seeing how things work. And look, if I can come up with a solution, okay, and I can see what's wrong, okay, if these people are more intelligent than me, so they say, why aren't these problems getting solved, okay? I'll address that in the next section, which is going to talk about the two biggest problems in our country are the core of all our problems is greed and apathy. Hope you stick around and watch that next chapter. I thank you for your time, and be safe.